So, but yeah, you shouldn't worry about those things. So that these متلقيان عن اليمين وعن الشمال قعيد. So he says, Imam Ibn Juzay al-Kalbi says, مقاعد بمعنى مجالس, like he's sitting with you, يجالسك. In other words, he's always there with you. And these are the two angels. The one on the right is the Amir of the one on the left. But there are other angels. There's a hadith that Imam Tabari relates, and it's definitely, it's a good hadith, but it's mentioned a lot. And I don't think it's not in any of the major collections, but Uthman radiallahu anhu asked the Prophet ﷺ how many angels there were. And Uthman radiallahu, and the Prophet ﷺ told him in this hadith that there were 10 angels in the day and 10 in the night. They yatanawabun, so they change at Fajr, at Subh, and then at Asr. And so the ones that are obviously in prayer, they're very fortunate because that's what they leave with, their assignment. But the Prophet ﷺ in that tradition says that you have the two that are there, and then you have those on your sides, two on your sides, and then one in the front, one in the back, and then you have one that has your nausea spiritually, and if you get arrogant, it yanks it down, and if you get humble, it elevates it, pulls it up. من تواضع لله رفعه الله, and then ومن تكبر قصمه. So and then there's the two on the tongue that, according to this tradition, says they're only there to record salah ala nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So anybody that says prayer on the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Darud Sharif, those angels are there just for that. And then there's an angel that literally protects your mouth from things that are harmful to go in it, because these are open orifices. And there's, we have Jibreel, we have all these amazing, Mikael, who's in charge of all the rain and everything, and the nabat, things that come forward. Jibreel is responsible for revelation. We have the angel of the mountains. We have the angel of death, right? قُلْ يَتَوَفَّاكُمْ مَلَكُ الْمَوْتِ الَّذِي وُكِّلَ بِكُمْ. So you have the angel of death, that some say his name is Azrael. It's in the Athar, and it's all the Mufassirun definitely mention him by name, but there's no hadith that give that name. And then also you have the Muqarrabun and the Kurubiyun also, which are the cherubim in the Western tradition. The angels of solace. I mean, yeah, it's a whole world that's around us. And then obviously corresponding to that is the demonic world. So there's all the negative forces that are there also. And then Zabaniya, you have Malik, Radwan, you have the Malik is the Khazan of the fire, Radwan is the Khazan of paradise, and then the Zabaniya alayha tis'ata ashar, there's 19 of these in hell. ما يلفظ من قول إلا لديه رقيب عتيد. So nothing is uttered out of your mouth except there is a raqib, in other words, somebody who's monitoring it, and atid, ready to write it down. So anything that you say, and it's really important for people to think about this, because we're in an age of talking. I mean, I don't think humans have ever talked more than they talk today. And just something to think about. When you write something on the internet, you can't get that back. Some of them you can delete. People delete tweets and things, but they're not deleted with the angels. Especially when it's about other people, because then it's the haqq of somebody else. And there's the qantara for Muslims. Like the qantara is going to be a problem, Because the qantara, you can't get into paradise until you settle things with other Muslims. So you make it across the sirat, there's another stage, which is the qantara. For anybody you wronged, they have a right at that point to demand from you. So, but people just don't think about this. They just, مَا يَلْفِظُ مِنْ قَوْلٍ. There's not a word uttered that it's not being recorded. And now we know all these recordings, all our phone calls are recorded. سَنُرِيهِمْ آيَاتِنَا فِي الْآفَاقِ وَفِي أَنفُسِهِمْ. We're going to show them our signs. Look at all the recording that's going on. Hidden conversations. There's people now that get people in these gotcha situations, and they record them, and then they put it up on the internet. The Prophet said, al-majalis bil-amanat. Like, private conversations are sacred trusts. The Prophet ﷺ said, if a man ever, before he says something, he looks around, it's amana. But they also say, don't blame somebody for, if you tell somebody a secret, don't blame them for telling somebody else, because they say the same thing that pulled it out of your chest, pulled it out of theirs. That's why they say, sudur al-ahrar, qubur al-ahrar. That the breasts of free people are the graveyards of secrets. Because it's people that spread other people's secrets and tell. Everything's going to be revealed on the Yawm al-Qiyamah. But sitr is also very important. Our religion, and this is a very fine line. I recognize this, especially today, because there's certain things. But one of the things that people do is they love to put this all up on the internet. Local problems should be local problems. The Muslim community, they take a local problem. Some imam does something, scandalous thing in some, town in whatever, someplace, and suddenly it's all over the internet. These are fitna people. They're spreading fitna. Let the local community deal with that. If the person is a prominent person, there might be some need, but generally these are local problems. The idea of just spreading all this fitna it's really not good. And it makes people, scandal is when scandal happens, it just has a horrible impact on the community. And a lot of these problems are problems of just not following Sharia. They're just not following Sharia. The Prophet ﷺ told us, don't be alone with somebody who's not a mahram. So any woman should never, if some, quote unquote spiritual teacher is saying, oh, I'll give you private lessons, red flag, the Dajjal, because it's just not in our religion. And that's what protects people, both people.